America has been horrified by the extent of abuse by gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassars, but there's another group of athletes who also spent countless hours training, and some say they too have been sexually assaulted by their coaches. The sport is swimming. Scores of women say they've been victimized and that swimming officials don't do enough to protect them. Lisa Guerrero investigates.
Thousands of teenagers across America give it their all, training for dreams of Olympic glory. But for these swimmers, the sport can get very dangerous. And we don't mean diving into a pool.
I had never even kissed a boy.
The danger, they say, is their coaches.
One afternoon, after practice, he asked me to come into his office, and he closed the door, and that was the first time that he molested me. I was 14.
Laura Weiss was a freshman in high school in Indianapolis when her swim coach, Chris Wheat, started sexually abusing her.
I considered committing suicide many times. And I just can't imagine all the other girls that are probably feeling the same way.
Laura says she was too afraid to tell anyone what her coach was doing to her.
He told me I would never be allowed to swim again. So the blame was heavily, put on me to keep quiet.
The abuse only came to an end after her mom found inappropriate texts he sent her.
I was outraged. I was disgusted. I felt betrayed.
Wheat is now a registered sex offender after pleading guilty to child solicitation and sexual misconduct with a minor.
Mr. Wheat, I'm Lisa Guerrero with Inside Edition. I'd like to ask you about a young girl who you once coached named Laura. She claims that you sexually abused her when she was 14. What's your response?
The once popular coach was sentenced to 10 years, but served just 19 months in jail. Jancy Thompson is also brought to tears as she relives the memories of what she says her coach did to her.
I was so fearful of him. I would have these nightmares at night.
Once an elite swimmer in the California Bay Area, Jancy says her coach, Norm Havercroft, abused her for years. The coach denies the allegations, and no charges were ever filed.
He would touch me. He would put my hands where he wanted me to touch him.
So how big of a problem is it? U.S. Swimming actually keeps a running list of coaches that have been banned for life for sexual abuse with swimmers.
The list was once a closely held secret, but it was finally made public after lawsuits filed by attorneys John Little and Bob Allard. Even they were astounded at what was ultimately revealed. More than 100 coaches, all banned for life for sexual abuse or misconduct.
It is rampant.
We're talking well over 100 Larry Nassars. The only difference between what's happening with gymnastics and swimming is the media avalanche.
Like all the Nassar victims, these women are now ready to share their stories.
It's hard when you see how many girls have been abused and how many coaches have gotten away with it. It's hard to really believe that something is going to change.
I may cry, but I'm still here, and I will share my story.
Jancy and Laura claim USA Swimming was aware of a pattern of abuse by coaches. They say they didn't do enough to protect them. USA Swimming declined to comment on our story, but they may have something to say to Congress. A congressional committee has launched an investigation, and the president of USA Swimming has been asked to appear at a hearing next week.